Hello everyone, and we should also be live on YouTube. Welcome everyone, welcome here. Yes, there is a stream today. Kind of crazy. I just want to stream more. Streaming, good. Need more streaming. So yeah, just impromptu. I want to test how it feels like to stream on a nice, chilled, relaxed Sunday evening for me, maybe morning for you, afternoon, maybe it's already Monday. So good luck, good morning, and hope you have a wonderful week. But yeah, today we're gonna have just a quick chill stream together, just learning about a wonderful artist, Velasquez, and we're also here on YouTube. Unfortunately, I haven't YouTube, Instagram at the same time. Multi-streaming, I'm trying it. So I'm multi-streaming. I couldn't find a way to get both my YouTube chat and Instagram chat, so here's just what's happening on YouTube. And Instagram is just 1 hour limit, so once the stream stops there, you can join us to get a lot of the fun here, which is happening on YouTube live. So here's to you, nice tea for today, and we're gonna have a great session. So we have art news, super controversial art news. You tell me about this one. Let me just say hello to everybody. Hello to everybody joining on Instagram. Hi there, it's happening on YouTube at the moment. You can join us, come in, hang out. No problem, just fun, just a relaxed Sunday stream. Good vibes only, good vibes only. It's just chilling, looking at wonderful art by a wonderful old master. He lined up with the NFL game. Wow, how can I compete? You tell me. Does art compete with NFL? What's gonna last more? What's gonna stay forever? Thinking about big gestures. Let me show you this art news right now. You have to see that. So switching here on Instagram for you. You let me know how you feel about that. Hello everybody on Instagram. Hello Elman Art, Hani Shendi. Hello Farzad. Hello everybody on YouTube as usual. And yeah, oh sorry, I haven't switched on YouTube, but this is here. Let me bring the chat. Protesters hurl soup at the Mona Lisa. Look at that. This is art news. Oh, hold on. I need my my little art news intro. Art news. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. So protesters, 2 women from an environmental group threw pumpkin-coated soup at the artwork, which is behind bulletproof glass, and did not appear to sustain damage. So what remains is more a symbolic gesture. Environmental activists hurling soup at Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa on Sunday. 2 protesters from an environmental group hurled pumpkin-coated soup on the Mona Lisa at the Louvre Museum in Paris on Sunday, splashing the bulletproof glass that protects the most famous painting in the world, but not apparently damaging the work itself. Okay, good. I think you can go there with an AK-15 and just fire at it and would do pretty much nothing, which is not something I recommend, mind you, but I think it's safe. But what is more important? So this is what they say: art or the right to have a healthy and sustainable food system. Okay. And this is where you start to cringe, because when they start to give you some completely unrelated kind of motive, and you're like, oh man, even if I'm like, I want to be sympathetic with the cause, but it's very hard because it makes me cringe of how unrelated the Mona Lisa and like this kind of statement is. Our agricultural system is sick. They were led away by the Louvre security guards, which were very, very nice actually. From the images that I saw, they really let them go pretty straightforwardly, just throw the soup, just pretty much undisturbed, which I'm pretty sure if you just want to get too close, they already shout at you, but apparently there it was like suspiciously easy to get there. I don't know. So the attack on the Mona Lisa came as French farmers have blocked roads, including approaches to Paris, in recent days to protest low wages and what they see as excessive regulation. But like, to be honest here, the New York Times doesn't really say. It's very, very unrelated. Like the farmers' protests in France at the moment and this are very unrelated, and it seems more like some, you know, far left activists, eco activists, trying to just ride the wave of, you know, there's a protest and they try to get in on, like, you know, getting some action. Just is like, this is an opportunity to seize for them. Kind of, there's this big debate about like farmers not getting good wages for the food that they produce, and they come with this idea of, I don't know, I haven't even read it, like I don't even want to give it a go. I don't care, because I don't know, like it's getting old. Like this old trick of like throwing stuff at famous paintings is really getting old, and in a way it just makes people hate you and hate your cause even more. Yeah, exactly. So they say that the protests by the two young women and the farmers appeared to reflect two starkly different views of agriculture and the appropriate properties for European society. Yeah, apparently it's easier to throw soup at the Mona Lisa than to go in the actual farmers' protest when you're far left activists and you want to defend your own little view of what food security should be, or food health, or food safety, whatever. I mean, just found a political party, give it that to the voters to decide, and just leave it at that. I mean, what's like, apparently it's easier to do that than to just be elected. Staff at the Louvre on Sunday tried to erect cloth screens to conceal the soup-splashed Mona Lisa, but the screens were not effective. Images of the attack quickly went viral on social media. The Mona Lisa has been behind glass since 1950, when a visitor poured acid on it. Oh my god. This is even worse. In 2019, the museum installed glass of what it says was superior transparency. 3 years later, another environmental activist threw cake and cream at the painting. Can we not let this painting alone for what? I mean, I'm so confused. I don't know. You tell me what you think about it, but I'm so confused. What even is this? The latest attack will heighten security concerns ahead of Paris Olympics. Oh yeah, there's that as well. Oh my god. Am I the only one who thinks it's super ironic to throw food while protesting for a more fair food distribution? No, you're not the only one. No, you're not. What kind of oil are they protesting? The guards are getting used to it, pretty much, I think. I protest acrylic gesso versus rabbit skin glue. So this is the news. Man. Okay. Good, I guess. Good, I guess. So what is everybody saying here? They need to address the corporate boardrooms of the corporation who are the problem that pulls stunts trying to destroy world treasures. Yeah, but it's easier to destroy a world treasure that's just safely behind glass. Like actually going to the farmers' protest and just trying to voice your concern there is like it's not as easy. Let's go, I'm watching 2 live streamers at once. Nice. At least they didn't glue themselves this time. Oh yeah, there's also that. The gluing stuff. Man. I don't know. And I'm very like pro environmental causes, whatever you want to do, but here it's just makes me cringe and makes me want to just turn my back on these guys and say, no, we're not in the same, like, whatever you think you're doing, you have to stop. Whatever it is you think you're defending, it's like, it's hurting the cause. It's crazy. I don't know. What I fear is that museums may start putting important paintings behind glass and people interested in learning from the masters can't properly appreciate the paintings. Exactly, it's just going to be... I don't know, I think it's going to become so irrelevant that it will soon just die off. I'm all about supporting our farmers, but it's definitely not the way. Oh, Nolwenn is not related. These 2 ladies, they wouldn't dare to approach the actual farmers. They are just left-wing people, eco-activists that think they have it all figured out about farming and how the world should go around, but like going and talking to the actual farmers with the actual trucks and the actual like this is much more complicated. So it's not the same. Like they're just trying to ride the same kind of wave of the protest, but thankfully Caravaggio and Van Gogh at my museum were without glass. My God. Do you have these activists here in the US as well? I hope they should put them all behind glass. I don't know. I think, to be fair, I think they wouldn't have attacked if it wasn't behind a safety glass. To be fair, most of the times they seem to be only targeting paintings that are protected. But sadly, the death of Mara in Brussels is behind glass. Yeah. Everybody on Instagram, if it's cutting at some point, you just have to follow the link on my bio to get to my YouTube, because there's a limit of 1 hour on Instagram. So we're going to have to do that quickly here. But on YouTube, I'm taking my time today. Loki's starting to worry about the paintings that aren't protected. I'm all for the environment, not for the environmentalist. Well, some of them, yeah, some of them. Like, if you actually take your own, like, you grab your boots and you go out there in the fields and you start plowing yourself with the type of agriculture that you want for the world and try to be the change that you want to see in the world. Like, this should be the reminder to these ladies. Like, just do that. Just grab your boots, buy a piece of land and turn it into a glorious food haven if you want. Like, I'm not going to stop you. Like, you do what you want. But it seems to be way more complicated than just throwing soup and just pretending to have, like, the righteous cause and just be the most virtuous person, knowing it all. Just by doing something completely unrelated. Why don't you go and like torture a little baby seal or a baby otter to just prove a point? Like, that's not related. That's really, it's so unrelated that it makes everybody cringe. It's crazy. So tired of this sensationalism. Yeah, exactly. I want to say I learned so much from you, and I'm so grateful. Hey, thank you, Elena. Okay, so hopefully, I don't know, have they attacked Velasquez? Because today we're gonna talk about our man Velasquez, because you guys have voted for Velasquez. When I asked on YouTube what painter would you like to see, and most of you voted for Velasquez. And I want to really study his art today. Just go ahead and look at what we can learn as artists from Velasquez. I'm not a champion of the history of art. I kind of know a bit about his story, his era, what kind of art he was doing, but I'm not like a super like connoisseur of the man. Look at this glorious mustache. Like, how can you not paint well when you have such a glorious mustache? Should I give it a try? Like, type mustache if you want me to try the Velasquez mustache for next stream. I don't know. Would be cool. Would be cool. The protests have become more performance art than making a statement. Yeah, it's the age of getting attention, but unfortunately, it's very cringe attention, and I don't know. It's very, very cringe. And I'm talking as a person who's very much a supporter of the cause that these two ladies are apparently defending, and I'm cringing at seeing that. I'm like, what the? Stop that. You have to stop. Oh, people want to see the mustache. Mustache and goatee. Oh my god. This is actually, yeah, this is... So, sorry for the pun, unintentional pun, but this is goated. The mustache and the goatee here would be absolutely glorious. Diego Velasquez, my friends. Diego Velasquez. My Spanish friends in the chat just correct me for my abysmal Spanish pronunciation, but oh, the hairdo as well. I have to do the hairdo. Elena on Instagram says the hairdo as well has to go. Like, it's a full package. What's the main question regarding Velasquez? Well, the main question is, how can you make a painting how can you become such a Chad painter that you ultimately end up doing, no, not this, no, not this. This. How can you end up, the main question about Velasquez is, how can you be such a glorious genius that you end up making the most commented and the most analyzed painting of all time? Or maybe not, I don't have like sources for that, but definitely one of the paintings that have been analyzed the most in the entire world. Maybe the Mona Lisa that we saw, you just erase the soup and you just analyze the Mona Lisa, but here with the Las Meninas by Velasquez, like, this is probably one of the paintings that have been most discussed in entire art history. No kidding, this thing has raised more questions and controversies and debates and discussions than probably any other paintings, because there is just so many interpretations that you can come up with. But how do you do that? How do you get this? How do you make fascinating paintings like that? And we're going to retrace the history of the master, of Velasquez, see how he got there. And if I have time, if people show up on this nice Sunday afternoon, because it's completely unexpected stream, so I get that people have better things to do on a Sunday than just watch me. But if people show up and if we're all in the mood, I'm gonna make maybe a little study in the end, maybe a little drawing study. We'll see. But how do you get to this point? How do you get to this point? How do you become this type of great master? How do you get this mustache? Because that's the question. Because I have to work on that now. So let's first analyze the most important. So the composition of the mustache is pretty it's pretty straightforward. Goes like that. Is there a beard or is it just a shadow eye? Just how do you get that? Is maybe the power is in this mustache? Huh. This is why I struggle with painting. I don't have such a glorious mustache. I remember this painting from my art history book, and yeah, and we're going to talk about it later on, and you'll see that there is just so much that's been said about this. So many interpretations. Some people said it's a time machine. Some crazy interpretations about just this last Meninas painting. Some crazy, like, I don't know, conspiracies, like, oh, but what the painting is about is just a debate. When a painting that's supposed to be pretty straightforward, it's a family portrait of the kings, the royal family, Philip IV, the Habsburg family. And how do you make that into such a crazy debate-inducing painting? We'll see that there's way more behind this than meets the eyes. But yeah, we'll start with the beginnings of Velasquez, because this is more the kind of style that he had at first. Sorry, Instagram crew, you're not really seeing much here. I need to reposition probably. Unfortunately, the vertical stream not ideal. You have a glorious, lovely French accent. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I think it's a nerd writer who has an amazing video on Las Meninas. Yeah, definitely. There are many great videos. Another one by a guy called Rabbit Hole, I think. Like tons of wonderful videos. I'm more going to stay in the painting kind of creator aspects of this type of analysis. We're going to look at it through the artist's eye. So this is kind of the early Velasquez style, which is called the bodega style. And from the word bodegon, these are the bodegon. Maybe my Spanish friends will correct me, say it's bodegones, bodegons, bodegone, I don't know. This comes from the bodega, like the kind of little food, like food shops, basically, where you get your food in the past. Like Velasquez was born in Sevilla, and in Seville there are lots of like little shops like that where you can get your food, and he did a lot of these. And the first thing that you see is already like a very groundbreaking kind of subject. You might think, well, how is it groundbreaking? Well, at the time, this type of genre painting was not common. It was kind of a bold choice to make poor people, just very common people, like not idealized, the very center of your paintings. The everyday life was not something that was supposed to be a thing at the time. It was not really like there was a strict hierarchy of subjects, and this type of thing was not part of it. It was not meant to be painted, really, because it was considered like a very inferior type of subject. Well, I think it's cool. I think it's great. But at the time, it was not really thought to be worth the time of a painter. But Velasquez nonetheless did a lot of these, and he was very interested in capturing the realism of the scene, and also brushing the subject with first of all, we'll have a look, with a lot of ease, definitely, with a lot of ease, a lot of like, he was pretty young in his career at this time, and it's already very, very masterfully painted, with a very strong tenebrist approach here. So you have the subjects that are pretty much framed by the darkness here. There's nothing to see in the background. Sometimes you kind of see a shadow popping out, kind of figure out a shape. But this is more to place a very strong theatrical emphasis on the subjects. And this is really cool because it really forces you to focus on the form. And the form has this, it gives these hands, for example, a very three-dimensional look. Absolutely gorgeous what you can do with a strong chiaroscuro like that. Look at how the shapes sort of come out of the shadows here, appearing. How the bottle of wine here is sort of translucent, catching some of this darkness, giving it this very subtle reddish tint. It's all very subtle, and also a great emphasis on the less flattering, but bringing beauty to what's considered less flattering and less deserving of the painter's attention. It wasn't supposed to be like that, so it's kind of groundbreaking to paint a normal subject. You already see that with Caravaggio, and you have a very much a Caravagist influence here. So he wasn't the first one to do that, but he did it with a very unique Spanish touch, so to say. And there's a lot of attention in the unflattering textures. Something that's very cool with Velasquez. You see, like, here you have textures. And if you're a painter like me who enjoys good texture, you love Velasquez because it's done so masterfully. Look at how this transparency here, look at how glorious it is. It's just transparent enough so that you see the kind of the quality of the fabric, but it's been brushed with just a couple of strokes, and yeah, not a lot of effort went into that, it seems, but a lot of genius, definitely. And look at how the ceramics, this is all really impressive in terms of how the textures are captured. It all feels very, very lifelike. Like, look at that. It almost feels like you can grab one of these plates or tools. Like, look at this, the metal. The metal is always one of my favorite textures. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that what you want to see on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, or whatever, whenever you are watching from? If you're watching on Instagram, you might want to, we're halfway there. So if you want to follow us and join the fun, we're on YouTube at the moment, but well, I'm sure you like some nice, what is copper texture like that, copper, I think. Isn't that so volumetric and so simple? It's like, how can it be so simple and yet just catch the light like that? Just take a moment in your nice Sunday, whatever you're doing this Sunday. Just take a moment to appreciate the genius of a painter capable of doing that. Because just that. Just like that, you know, I could go to the museum and just have my eyes, like, hopefully nobody is throwing soup at that, at this glorious painting, but if nobody's throwing soup, and I can appreciate without any activist trying to ruin my day, I would just go there and I could stare at this, no kidding, for hours. And I'm gonna leave it like that for you, because this is... it's all there. Just do that. Just, if you don't know what to do, if you want a quick study, quick painting study, just take that, take some yellow ochre, some raw umber, some ivory black, and just do that. Maybe, I don't know, any type of yellow. Any type of yellow, yeah. Maybe a stronger yellow, actually. I don't know. And just do one of these. It's so monochromatic, but it's so... like, everything you need to know about painting is there. Everything. No kidding. This could be the very best study you do. And I really love this. And I think, yeah, I'm tempted to do a portrait study on this kid. He looks great. He looks such as, like, you know, the kid that you see in the corner of the street, like, he really looks real. I really love this painting. Really, really love this painting. Tell me what you think. The painting is called Old Lady Frying Eggs. Yeah, I didn't say that. It's 16 something hundred. I don't know. I'm not into dates. I'm not a history buff, but oh man, when I see that, it's just glorious. And Velasquez was such a great master. And producing that, the very beginning of his career. And you would think, well, with subjects like that, he's not gonna get... with subjects like that, this one is another bodygon by his, and this one has kind of a... he tried to add the religious story in the background. Nice try, but I prefer this. I prefer the fish here. I prefer the texture. I don't know, I'm not sold on this one. I think he tried to add it to make the painting feel more, you know, important, because this religious painting, these religious scenes were considered like the most noble type of art that we're supposed to make. But I don't know, I'm not sold really on that. I don't think it's the best placement of it, but the rest here, this entire part, it kind of feels like it's been added later to kind of, I don't know, you tell me what you think. I don't know the story exactly behind this one. This one is also one of my favorites. Look at this beauty. I did a study of this one. This old man. The wrinkles on this old man are just, oh my god, so great. And so, like, you can study this portrait here and just, yeah, so much. This kid also, this here, a masterclass on how to make things appear in the shadow very subtly. Like that. Oof. Texture of the glass. Ah. So gorgeous. Remember, they didn't have photography at the time. Making something so realistic feels photorealistic, don't you think? Brass. Okay, so it was a brass thing. Jesus visiting Mary. the placement is terrible on this last one. Yeah, I also agree. I think it wasn't part of the original idea. No way. No way. The light touching the kid's face. Exactly. Look at that. This light caressing the face of this kid here. Sideways like that with this composition. Look at this. Sorry. Look at this sideways light here coming just from this side like that. Coming from a window and tracing this sort of diagonal, a sort of a diagonal power hose of light coming from this side. And almost feeling, it's almost like the light is coming from this hose here. Sorry, you don't see on Instagram. And just feeling the glass here. There is I don't know, maybe it was made on purpose. There's probably an analogy between the light and the water. They have the glass of water here might have some type of spiritual symbolism somehow. And portraiture also. Portraiture of people you wouldn't think are represented at the time, but yeah, there were a lot of I don't know. So I don't know the word exactly in English. Dwarf, little people in dwarves in the courts of Spain at the time, and he painted a lot of them. And he was very much a master at portraits. So now we're going to go into the phase 2 of his talents, is portrait. Look at how full of life this guy is. This is, what this guy name? I always forget about this person's name, but look at how subtle the brushstrokes are. And look at how there is not even a single harsh line or a harsh edge. It's all very softly blended here, everywhere. Look at all these edges here. When you zoom in, they're just nicely caressed, feathered with a very elegant sort of soft, smoothing turning of the form, which means the shapes are never just cut out from the background. They are always like nicely turned towards the rest of the background, which gives this kind of smoothing effect, almost like a black mist filter. Like photographers use a black mist filter to just make the edges more pleasant to look at. And this is exactly what Velasquez does with just the pressure of the brushstroke. It's absolutely insane to see that, and how it all feels. I don't know what this painting has always made me feel is, because it's so monotonous and it's just almost one single color. There's actually way more complexity, but it feels like it's been done with a single brushstroke, because it's just so unified in a way. It feels like he just touched the canvas once and disappeared. Feels magical. I don't know about how you feel about this one, but hey, to me, this really feels like nice. Like, I don't know, there's the same kind of vibe with the background and the guy. It all feels kind of, to me, it always felt like a vaporous apparition. I don't know, appearing, a vaporous appearing, mystical almost, very elegant. And of course, with talent like that, he got commissioned to do portraits, and he became a court painter. So first he did this one, also this one, very famous. It's very iconic because, you know what, with Velasquez, you can ask him to do what you want. He's still going to paint you exactly like this old lady from the bodega. Because guess what? You look exactly like the old lady from the bodega. You don't look better. He's not going to glorify your appearance because you pay a lot. Like, this old lady frying eggs, he painted her like she was. He didn't try to cheat or anything. And he's not going to cheat if you're a pope. No way. He's going to paint what he sees. One of the goats, for sure, exactly how it achieve. One of the goats. High colorful side. And yeah, he's going to paint you how he sees. But what if what he sees is very ugly? And we get to the Habsburgs. Oh my god. Well, I think a lot of things have been told about this. This is the royal family of Spain. I'm not a history dude, but this is the King of Spain, Philip IV, I think. And he was the King of Spain, and in Madrid, he hired Velasquez to become an official court painter because he was just so talented. And indeed, we're going to look, he got what he paid for. He hired Velasquez and he got genius. Look at this masterful use of spontaneous brushstroke. Oh my god, I would love to do that. I would kill to have this kind of ease. It feels like Sargent. Like if you told me, yeah, this is Sargent, I would say, okay, sure, it looks cool, you know, really cool, very Sargent-like. The hands, just the right amount of detail, the right amount of form and shape popping out of the shadows. Hi, Gina. He had to have helped the Habsburg a little bit. Well, we're going to remember the Habsburg, even though they were probably the ugliest dynasty in, like, ever. But Velasquez, he did what he could, but he was not going to lie. They look ugly, yeah. Let's just not be. There's no need to be nice. They were very ugly because of a lot of inbreeding. Yeah, it's hard to tell them apart because they all look alike so much. Like when you see the daughters of the Habsburg family. Except Maria Teresa in Las Meninas, which is why we're going to go to this one at the end. But they all look so much apart with this, like the Habsburg lip, like this, this deformity from just marrying between cousins so much to keep the power between themselves. And how can you make a king like that beautiful? You can't. So, and Velasquez was not going to fake it or whatever. And actually, this is what everybody wanted because they didn't have cameras at the time, and outside of mirrors, they had no way to see their representation, and this was more real than you could imagine. The good thing is that his very elegant brushstroke made the painting cool no matter what. Like you can paint a bunch of crap and it would look cool if it was done by Velasquez because it would look nicely painted. So that's what saved these guys from just... I'm not sure any other painter could have done such a great job at making them look the least ugly he could. But there is no grandeur. He was not lying. He was not going to bullshit himself into trying to glorify their appearance. But because there's nothing to do here except paint what you see and be real and just make good brushwork. So this is another of the people from there. And yeah, we're gonna see, okay, this one first, maybe. Very cool, a composition here, or a lesson on geometry here, trying to scroll it for the people on Instagram. With the pikes are really a wonderful example of how to use lines to create rhythm and play with depth. Absolutely amazing example of patterns and why patterns are so effective in composition. Oh, look at all these glorious pikes. Almost feels like an abstract design, and it works really well. I don't care about exactly what's happening. I don't know the history with this one. Maybe an important moment in Spanish history. So this is the redemption, I guess, of, I don't know, don't remember the title. The redemption of this guy, apparently. But yeah. But really a great use of lines and rhythm and patterns. Awesome. Awesomeness here. Okay, so yeah, we wanted Las Meninas. Okay, here we go. So one of the most talked paintings of all time. No kidding. This painting has been more debated than any other, I think. So first of all, who is this little? You think she's this little girl here, cute little girl. You think she's the main, the central subject, and in a way, you'd be right. There is no denying she has a central role. And when you think about this painting, this little kid comes to mind. She is Maria Teresa. So the daughter of the Habsburg couple, royal family. So the princess, apparently they had like most of their kids were died, and most of their kids had like big health issues, and she was kind of the only hope they had left. And she wasn't deformed or anything. She was all like cute and all. So what a relief, what a vision of hope, vision of for them, she was like the most the greatest treasure they had, like for the preservation of their dynasty, their power. No. And there, look at this. Here they are, our friends. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Our friends are here. The king here. The queen here. So they are represented. And look at this. Look at who we have here. We know this famous mustache. This is the man himself, Velasquez. So he very boldly he paints himself in a royal commission. So I've read that he wasn't an aristocrat, so noble. He hasn't been entitled at the time of painting this one. I don't know, like the dates of the painting and this cross kind of acknowledging his status in the court. He became a noble man, basically, but at the time of the painting, he was not. So there is already like a lot of interpretation on this, like crazy. Who painted the cross? Who painted this? I don't know. If you know about that, you tell me. But one thing is that Velasquez came from a very sort of humble family in Seville, and all his life he wanted to become an aristocrat, and all his life his goal was to raise himself to the status of, you know, like the most noble person in Spain. But when you look at what the aristocrats looked like, oh my God. So when you look at it, they look ugly. Most of the aristocrats, they look ugly. And how proudly he stands there with this very, this glorious attitude, full of confidence. He depicts himself as almost above the top of the aristocracy. Look at if you look at this, you can interpret that. I don't know if it's been interpreted, but like the level here, he's on top. He's on top of the world. Like they are lower than that. All of them, all the other characters are lower than him. So nice. And I think in the entire history, people would think more highly of Velasquez than any of these guys, even the king and queen. Even the king and queen. And this is not, I don't think this is just a random fact that he sits there higher than anybody else. So he elevated himself proudly to this level. And king and queen, they're tiny in comparison. I agree. Like to me, yeah. I also value Velasquez way more than any of this crowd. So you think this here, this character here, so Maria Teresa is the main character. But when you look at it very closely, and we're soon going to reach our limit on Instagram, so if you want to keep up with what we are saying here, you can join us on the YouTube. Yeah, that's not an accident. I agree, Chad. That points out something very interesting. Politicians are viewed as less important as time goes on, but artists are reversed. So yeah, exactly. Artists are low lives, nothings in their lifetime. But if somehow somebody picks up their work later on in history, they have a fundamental impact. Whereas, you know, you forget about the name of this king here, but you know that Velasquez painted him. I didn't, like, I had to look at I had to, actually, I think I Wikipedia'd the name of the king because I didn't remember this guy. I remember the Habsburg, but this guy with the low apparently the Spanish, they have this pronunciation, gracias, because the king at the time couldn't pronounce, and he was always like speaking like that because of the lip. I don't know. You tell me if it's right. I've heard about that. It's Valdemar fact. So Valdemar Januszek said this, so I don't know. You correct me if it's wrong, but yeah. The king, I had to Google the name, Wikipedia the name. But Velasquez, I remember the name. I'll remember it till I die. I remember these paintings. I remember these brushstrokes. And it will be engraved in my brain. And hopefully, if nobody throws soup at this painting, it will stay intact for centuries to come. And that's the great thing. That's the great thing about art. It's awesome like that. That was a studio. It was bigger than in the painting. Okay. Yeah, where was I? Okay, so with this painting, like this painting has been analyzed a lot, and it's a very game-changing painting because this very thing here, putting yourself in a painting that's not about yourself. This is not called a self-portrait of Velasquez with other people around. This is called Royal Family. I think the original title was Royal Family. It ended up being Las Meninas, so the little girls, so the chaperone, the servants of the princess. The painting is not called Self-Portrait of Velasquez with other people, but Velasquez has reached has officially stated that the status of the artist himself is just as important as the art. Like, the artist has reached a certain point of stardom. Basically, the artist is the star. He's also what makes the art valuable. He could paint that, and only he could paint that, which means that this is a Velasquez. This makes it valuable. And we still have this today. Okay, we have the same painting. We have a fake and we have the original. Of course, they look exactly the same, but only the original is valuable because of this, because of the status of the artist as important in the valuation of what the art means and how the art is viewed as the work itself. Because at the time, this wasn't like that. Artists were more like kind of workshop workers, like independent workshop workers. They were kind of working like guilds and stuff. There was not this idea of the artist as being kind of a star. But here he kind of introduces this idea. Really cool. Now, very strange, because this painting has another kind of very eye-catching thing in the background, and you end up with three, some people say three, I would say four main points of focus, which is very rare. And the thing is, the perspective is just loose enough so that you can basically link the perspective to whatever point you want and still use it as sort of a focus point. The actual perspective line, the actual center of the perspective would be there on this guy, the Chamberlain here. But in reality, if you twist the perspective, and if you're kind of loose with how this, for example, how flat is this wall here, you can then readjust and think that the vanishing point is here, or here, or here, or here. He's kind of loosely playing with perspective. There is perspective, there is a clear depth, but the exact vanishing point, it's loosely decided, which is pretty cool. We're gonna finish with Instagram. Instagram, if you want to keep up with what we're doing here, just go on YouTube. It's going to stop any moment, any minute now. So I'll see you there. And bye-bye, Instagram. Okay, I think we lost them. I think we've lost them. Yeah, Instagram has a 1 hour limit. I know some Dutch masters, but these Spanish ones are new, so it's nice to dig into them on Google. Yeah, tons of Spanish masters. Very cool painting culture, especially the Baroque era. Very impressive. If you like the Baroque like me, very very impressive bunch. And Velasquez, yeah, one of the greatest, no contest. So yeah, okay, so I'm not gonna dive into the whole analysis because, you know, I could spend, no kidding, I could spend really hours just talking about that. And there are actually entire books that have been written about that, so I'm not gonna dive too much into all the analysis. It's just a question of point of view. Who is actually viewing this? Who is there? Who is the person looking at this scene? It's a question. Is this the royal couple? So are you seeing through the eyes of the royal couple? Not sure, because with the kind of loose perspective, you know, it could be something slightly next to the royal couple. You could be like a servant of the royal couple. Who is Velasquez looking at? Who is he painting? Is he painting the royal couple? Probably, because, well, he's not painting the infant. Definitely, because the infant here, he couldn't be painting her. She's right next to him. So he has to be painting something. He is not painting the royal couple because this painting doesn't exist. So we have no trace of a painting that would look like that here, but bigger. So yeah, he's really playing with perspective, playing with points of view, and throwing away our references. But anyway, I'm not going to dive into that because there's been so much that has been written on this painting. What I really want to know is, how can you be an artist? Like, this was kind of the title of the stream, is how can you be an artist? How can you be such groundbreaking? Number one is be where you're not expected. Sorry, I'm writing. My writing is pretty bad. Be where you're not expected. So take people where they don't. So I'm sure that when they commissioned a family portrait, they didn't expect that. Nobody could say, paint me something like that. So he gave them what they didn't expect. Do what's not expected, because nobody can be expecting anything from your art, even if they commission you, which is kind of a crazy. It takes you to the total freedom, the total creative freedom. He was paid, but he actually created what he wanted to paint, not what people wanted him to paint. So just break the rules somehow, and make more than what you are supposed to. Just feel free to experiment. Make people see more than the eye is capable of. That's lesson number 2 from Velasquez for me. Make people see more than what the eye, Make people see more than what the eye is capable of. No human eye is capable of seeing that. That's for sure. Because it's just technically impossible. But by being that's the definition of making art, is making stuff that the eye of normal people couldn't see, but your vision as an artist is giving it to them, even though it's not humanly possible to see stuff. And even at the age of photography, this point here keeps painting relevant. Because at the age of photography, like, photography is only capable of seeing what kind of an improved eye is capable of seeing. And if you do digital retouching, then you can obviously just create effects and stuff. But just photography alone is just an improved mechanical eye. But a painter is way more than that, because there is way more potential for creating what the human eye is incapable of seeing. And I think that Velasquez is a great example of that. And third lesson from Velasquez is be your own style, and push boundaries, but be your own style. And definitely when you see how Velasquez started, very kind of Caravagist inspired, not really his own style yet. It feels very much like Velasquez, but he hadn't found his style at the moment. But then when he got into this kind of painting, this is where he really was his own kind of painter. There is such a big difference between this and that. And the fact that this was painted by the same artist shows how free he was with the codes, the rules of paintings, the stylistic rules. The fact that he painted that and that and that, like, you can see the remnants of what the artist was capable of. But he was very free in his approach, in his subjects, in how he painted portraits, in his brushwork, in his composition. He was always very good at breaking boundaries between styles. And look at this brushwork. This is glorious. It all feels so simple. Very good at breaking boundaries and becoming your own style. And definitely you can see his very old influence here with this one, and how he evolved as an artist to become more and more his own style, until he reached, Chad, Ultra Chad, Giga Chad status here. This is Giga Chad of painting. It's right there. The Giga Chad of painting. Definitely. Right there. There you have it. And yeah. So yeah, really cool painting. And really cool artist. So today we're gonna do a little drawing study, shall we? Okay, so I'm done talking this much. I'm not gonna annoy you this much. So what do you think about Velasquez? Oh yeah, well, in Europe the good thing is you will never run out of museums to visit. Definitely. That's cool about Europe. Check, mic check. I'm checking this mic. Okay. You still here? Still with me? Oh yeah, it must be so impressive to see it in real life. Damien, you're so lucky. I've never seen it in real life. But yeah. In the Louvre as well, you have some big paintings, and it's, man, the raft of the Medusa, like seeing this one, oh my god, it's glorious. Putting money aside, yeah, sure. Sure. But you know, I mean, some people visit places and they go to nightclubs and stuff, which you do what you want, but like it's very much a waste of time compared to looking at Velasquez. Well, the only problem with these super famous paintings is that they're always so crowded. They're always in such crowded rooms, except like in our case, the Mona Lisa, when it was splashed with soup, was surprisingly empty. I don't know, I've seen the video, it was surprisingly empty. I don't know what happened here. I'm gonna show you the video because I'm sorry, I'm going back to this, but I wanted to show I thought they had video, they didn't. Hold on, I want to see if I have video here. No, I do not agree. Okay, maybe I have video here. See, I don't know, I've never seen the Mona Lisa room so empty. Oh my god, this is so awkward. On est riposte alimentaire. Oh my god, this is cringy. Ah, okay, so there's a double line. I've never seen this room so empty. And you know, look at this painting, look at this room here. There are so many glorious paintings in this room, and the people there, they're so annoying. They're staring at the Mona Lisa like that, and look at all these beautiful paintings all over the place. It's just insane. This is a Titian here. This is a portrait by Titian. I love this one here. You have some Veronese. You have some of the greatest masterpieces, and you know, most of the people in this room, they're just waiting in line to just take a photo of this one single little thing here behind like there's a huge wall. There's this huge blue, apparently it's blue now, wall. And you can't even go, like, you can't go near it. And look, and they had like this huge spacing, but the work is not even protected. Look at how much spacing you have. You can't look at this damn painting from up close, and I understand why. Look at how much space there is. It doesn't show, but this is insanity. So you have a bulletproof glass. You have like 2 meters or what? And then you have another line here. It's such a waste of a space and waste of time. They should not even display the painting. You know what? Don't even display it. It's just trouble. And like, people don't know how to visit a museum anymore. They're just there for the, you know, for the famous painting. Look at that. This is... I would totally ignore the Mona Lisa as well. I would just go straight for the other paintings, the Raphaels, the Veronese, the Titian. Look at all these. They all look so much more exciting. Doesn't it feel way more exciting what's happening there? I don't know what's wrong. Sometimes the fame of a painting can be very, you know, overrated. Mona Lisa, don't get me wrong, she's pretty and all. I love Da Vinci and all, as much as any guy, but But yeah, it's kind of crazy. No, they're not climate change activists, but they're eco-activists who promote apparently a sort of sustainable food. Basically just to give you a context, like in France we have like social security, so healthcare for all, universal healthcare, and basically they want the same thing except that not for health and medicine, but for food, like food. Basically, they want the same kind of system. But it's a goofy thing to do with such an act. It's a goofy thing to do that when you haven't even. I have never seen this sort of suggested as, you know, in a program of a politician, for example, like an eco-friendly program. It's never been like, I don't know, I've never seen this idea. And they throwing, as I said, throwing soup at the damn thing is more apparently it's easier than trying to defend your idea and make people vote for it. Yeah, exactly. I think the same. The cause is not ridiculous. Fair. Just fair. If you want to defend this cause, great idea. Just go ahead, make your idea visible to the public, and just put yourself on the line to be elected as the next whatever, the next yeah, probably. Yeah, isn't this getting old? It didn't work. Exactly. Yeah. It is getting very old. It is getting very, very old. It doesn't work. I think one of these groups, they have finally decided to stop doing the stopping cars in highways, because it's the same kind of stuff. They stop all the cars in a very busy highway, and then they make some type of eco-activist claim and demands. But like, it was just making people crazy with no effect. People just wanted to go to work, live their lives, and they have nothing, like the people that you stop in their cars have nothing to do with your with what you ask for. And it's just as stupid as just killing a little baby duck to protest for climate change. I'm going to stop torturing this little baby duck, this cute little baby, only when my climate goals have been reached. No, because it's insane. And yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Where's my charcoal stuff? Here. Oh yeah, here. Oh man. These stunts are idiotic. Yeah. Yeah, the farmers' protests in France are wild. In actually most of Europe, like Germany as well, the Netherlands, they had like huge farmers' protests as well. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna do a little painting of this kid here. Maybe I'll take a screenshot of this little boy, Velasquez boy. Oh, they've done the stopping traffic here in the US as well? Oh no, they're not the most crazy. The most crazy are in Italy, but these ones are cool. Yeah, these people think the ends justify the means. The problem is they're not grabbing their own boots and going in the fields and plowing themselves. Because when you have done that, you realize that, okay, growing food is not as simple as it seems. It's not just a matter of we should do that. Like we should all go organic, we should do, like, this is freaking complicated. Like growing food and changing the food system is very tricky, and you don't want hungers all over the world. So sorry, I'm trying to get my reference picture here in the shot, and I'll be on my way. Okay. Oh, so small. Oh my god, Dahlia, sorry for you. Hope you get better. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some of my charcoal dust and spread it around here. Oh my god. Like I did for the horsey. I should have put this horizontal, actually would have been better. Actually, it's too messy, but yeah, charcoal powder. So now I'm gonna just make this entire thing dark. Oh my god, this charcoal goes so fast. And look at this. Like, just a couple of, look at what I have left. In just a few seconds, I completely consumed this tiny bit of charcoal. I thought it would last for more. Let's see how long this one lasts. Yeah, it's going to be a charcoal study. Yeah, we're gonna do this painting, but with charcoal. Because I have a yellow background, I think it will look kind of cool. If I can pull it off. And yeah, I'm gonna just make a little background. I prepared this yellow paper with raw umber watercolor earlier. And I didn't really give it, oh, sorry. It's already so tiny. And I didn't really give it time to dry properly. Or it's still kind of wet. So not really something that I would advise, but I wanted to do that. I wanted to have this kind of charcoal study for tonight. Like it feels like a charcoal Sunday. Every Sunday should be charcoal Sunday. Have I ever tried the liquid charcoal? Okay, full disclosure, I used to sort of collab or partner with Nitram charcoal, and they sent me a lot of charcoal. They sent me a lot of stuff, and they asked me to try before it was in the production phase, so it was prototype, and they asked me to review their liquid charcoal, and they got kind of mad at me because I was very honest with them. And now they don't partner with me anymore, but maybe I shouldn't reveal that. Whatever. I just told them that liquid charcoal is just gouache, black gouache. And I don't see the point. You can do what you can with liquid charcoal. You can take some black gouache and there you go. You have the same. And you can do the same. You can combine it with actual dry charcoal if you want. I even run the tests. I run all the tests and stuff, and I saw no point. But yeah. If you want, I tell you how you can make your liquid charcoal. You take your dust like that. If you have lots of dust, always collect it. You take some acrylic matte medium, or Garma Arabic. You mix this and you make your own little paint. And this is liquid charcoal. And this is carbon black. Has a purple tint. Okay, well, sure, but granulated, yeah, but you can take your own little charcoal dust and put some medium, and this is your liquid charcoal. I think the price tag of the Nitram was a bit too high for my for what I think was fair. And I'm all for their this is the goat of drawing for me. These three. But yeah. The texture and the granulation, okay. Yeah, but yeah, definitely, if you like it, go for it, certainly. It's not that I don't like liquid charcoal, it's that they sent me some stuff to try, and I was not convinced that it was worth the price tag. Oh man, breaking my first charcoal of the day. Starting good. Starting good. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna launch. Okay, nice. Let's enjoy this little boy here. Let's do that. Raising my easel here, and I'm simply going to start just tracing my little boy here, trying to catch some of this light. And this is very much reminiscent of Caravaggio, so exactly, subtractive eraser. And I'm gonna work subtractively at first. Then I might actually go with some ochre. I could go crazy and work with a little bit of an yellow pencil, actually, this, because I do have some yellow pencils that would work pretty well with this. What's good with this subject here is you have some very strong shadow shapes. So this shape of the eye here, it's almost like you paint it, but with the you paint it with your eraser like that. What's happening here? Anna, welcome to tier 2. Thank you for joining. Okay, I didn't have the alert. What's going on? I should have this. Yay, Anna! Welcome to tier 2. Thank you very much for joining. Becoming a member. Yeah, actually, I'm doing blocking. It's just blocking with lights and shadows. Very organic, very painterly, and yeah, there's supposed to be an edit. I've never, like, because this is a homemade stream here. And I've always struggled to make it work. But yeah, this I'm supposed to make it myself. Like I'm not using a service, like a stream service. Like all my alerts, it's all created by me. So and for the alerts, notification really never really worked for me for some reason. But hey. So, everybody, what do you think about Sunday stream? I don't know, I like it. I like it. It's pretty new, so not a lot of people know that it's happening, but thank you for being here though. Thank you for tuning in. We already had a Sunday stream. I think we had the the Jeff special episode about Jeff. But other than that, Sunday, it's a nice, for me it's a nice day, a nice relaxing day. I like the idea of making Sunday stream a more relaxed session. I don't know. I just do stuff that I enjoy doing, like reviewing great artists that I admire, stuff like that. Oh my god, I just realized my little paper here. The best source is Nitram. Nitram, Nitram. Yeah, the best around, definitely. I just realized my little paper here underneath, it's still a little damp from because I toned it myself. So I think I'm going to have more problems than expected. Oh, it's going to be a fun ride. Yeah, charcoal pencils, I've always struggled. I don't know. You tell me what you think, but I've always struggled very much with charcoal pencils because they're always breaking in my hands every time I try to sharpen them, no matter how I try. Always breaking. So you tell me if you're what kind of charcoal pencils you have, but for me they never worked. Okay, where are you, little guy? Where are you? Show me your face. Show me your face. Do you want to appear for us? Get out of there. Get out of the shadows and come hang out with us. We are here. Show me, where is this nose here? Maybe a bit lower than that. Yeah, sometimes it only happens on Sundays. I talk to my art. It happens, right? Just on Sunday. Oh, this eraser is a very old one, so I don't care. It's like, at this point, this eraser is completely screwed. And yeah, no, it's like, yeah, definitely don't use a new eraser for this amount of charcoal because it's going to fully ruin it. But yeah. since you're there and it's Sunday and all, let me know what you think about music. Sometimes I like to have music, but I can listen to music myself if I want. I don't necessarily have to put the music on. You tell me how you like the stream without music. It's, for me, without music, it's a bit of extra work because I sort of have to be more descriptive, but I kind of like the idea though of more, Bob Rossing it. I have to describe every little step that I take. I think it's a nice trade-off. I like the stream with the music, I enjoy it, but I like to also be the only source of, entertainment. And so if I don't want my stream to be completely boring, I have to sort of talk. And not having music sort of forces me to just talk more, I guess. Some days I struggle though. So I'm not gonna lie, some days I'm going to actually need the music as support. Montmartre Circles. Music is extremely important to me, has been a constant companion for me. I listen to it. Yeah, but what do you think about me playing music during the stream like this, for example? What do you think, Pronilio, what do you think about if I play this, if I play music? Like, what about my music during the stream? It's not music in general. My music for the streams. That's what I'm talking about. See, when you have music, here you have music, like background music. You know what? What I'm gonna do is for today, I'm gonna cut the music because I don't feel in a music kind of mood. Personally, I like the idea of going with no music at all. And I'll probably have less problems with copyright, even though I'm only using copyright-free material, but sometimes like I have some weird claims. I have some weird claims from like fake owners, and like it's just... So yeah. Oh my god, the paper is starting to wobble because it's still wet. So yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do music when I want to, no music when I don't, and just... And yeah, what I kind of like the idea of no music for the moment, because sometimes I I like the music that I put on stream, but sometimes I have a tendency to listen to it more than I actually talk. And that's not the point. Like, if I'm streaming, it's not to be not talking. I need to talk. It's like having, like, a stream is like having friends at home. When you have like guests come to have lunch at your home, you're not just listening to music and not talking to them. So I kind of feel the same. Yes, I can. This is what I can do, is I can also play music for myself, which is why I'm asking. I can also play, like, I could like be there and listen to heavy metal right now, and you would hear nothing. You would just hear me like go like that. Yeah, metal. That's cool. Yeah, also this is also a good thing is like you can like people can actually listen to their own music in the background. I like it. I like this. And also I have to be honest with one thing is at first I started with the music always on option because when I first started doing my streams I had a lot of I had a mic that was not as good as what I have now, and this mic was pretty noisy and pretty lame. The first one I had, it was all very noisy, and the music would just cover the noise a bit. So I had to, in this case, it was very practical to have kind of noise covering music. Now I have a much cleaner mic here, mic setup and all, and basically I can go quiet like that. You tell me if you hear noise, but I don't. Also, there is more, you know, scratchiness. And that's glorious though. I love it. I love it. So where's your little ear? Maybe here. I love croaking frogs. This is the best noise. There's a little pond right next to my house. I love it. It feels like summer is here. It's great time. I love the frogs. I don't mind. They don't prevent me from sleeping. Love these little dudes. Trying to mate, being very noisy about that, aren't we all? Aren't we all? So what are the Oklahoma frogs? Are they more noisy? Okay, so now, you know, when I have done most of the thing, I have removed most of the big chunks of powder with my old brush. And now when I want to do more, like I can use my clean eraser now to go more in the details. And this should remove more. And this will get less, you know, completely ruined by just the sheer amount of dust that I have to dig off in this case. Frogs in Las Vegas. How is it surprising? Oh yeah, because it's so dry, you mean? Is it just me or did he make the face too chunky? I've been doing this for just 30 minutes, so just give me a break. Hopefully if you come back in a couple minutes, maybe an hour or two, it will be all right. I can't paint if I'm not talking to myself while painting. What does it mean? Yeah, it's the jaw. It's the everything at this point. Can you see what's going on here? This is just full of dust a couple minutes ago. So yeah, obviously the jaw doesn't work. Of course. It's not my first time. Yeah, where does Vegas get their water from? How do you get golf like greens in Vegas? It's always been a puzzle in my mind. Right, you make a golf course in the middle of a desert. It's always been a very puzzling. Hey, give me a break with the jaw and let me do my thing, because this is the relaxing Sunday stream. I understand that you're picky about that. I am also very picky about that. It's just takes time, man. And I'm gonna take my time because it's a nice Sunday stream. I can't be stressed out. So give it time. Give it time. It will come in due time. It goes like that with little adjustments here. Right now I'm focusing on this mouth here, and then I'm going to reposition this eye here because the eye socket is not great yet. And we all can take a chill pill and we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. It's just not magical. No, I understand. It's just, it's normal. It's normal. You notice that. And I'm also like that. It's just, give it time. Give it time. It's the same thing for your own drawing. It's just give it time. Let it slowly get into its natural shape. First you get the basic proportions, and then you get the shapes. If you want, I can zoom in so that you can see the current state of what we're dealing with here. Look at what we're dealing with. Just so you take a look at what I'm actually looking at. Like, you're seeing from a distance, but the reality is it's still very much grainy. It's still very, you know. Oh yeah, the hands challenge. I need to actually, I didn't even make the little post about the hand challenge. so I need to do it. Yeah, thank you. It goes relatively quickly for such a basic technique. So it's pretty wild how you can get something that kind of looks like similar-ish in a very small amount of time. I'm going to change my headset for these earbuds. Better. Editing. How long do you have for the challenge? You have just as long as you need. There's no rush. No rush. Especially hands can be tricky, so nah, the camera can never be straight. Otherwise my head would just be always in the way, so it has to be angled. So it's slightly here. My face is like this, and the angle is almost like this. And even there is like the most straight that I can put it, because it gets it already, like, my head is already very much in the way. Look at that. Whenever I'm looking at the left side, it's always something I have to think about. And I'm also very criticized for having my face in the way a lot of the time. So I'm trying to be self-conscious about it, but you know, it's tricky. But I do my best. Thank you for the screenshot. Okay. like this haircut. Like this hairline. Oh yeah, you'll definitely. Maybe this will be the next. The next art challenge will be the back of my head. A great challenge idea. Like, his mom was not going to waste any time doing a trim or anything. She just took the scissors and just cut straight. No, there's no trolling. It's fine. Nobody's trolling here. Like, criticism is always welcome. Or anything. Like, you can say whatever you want. I'm just saying, relax. Give me time to work on my thing. Because I just started this bad boy. And my usual time is, like, it's counted in hours, not in minutes. And certainly not in seconds, so that's all I was saying about that. It's no trolling. And the camera angle thing, like, it's normal. Like, people want to have the best positioned camera, and I also would like to have this transparent face that lets light through, that would allow me to have this perfect angle. I would love it. Unfortunately, the only camera that can be straight in front of is my two eyes. Painters were glorified selfie machines. I think he was a good boy. Yeah, he was very nice when his mom told him, yeah, I'm just going to cut straight, and he just accepted without complaining, without saying but Mom, what about my friends? They're gonna make fun of me at the bodega. Okay. The Kid from the Omen. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Okay. So here. Well, you have to have the ability to copy what you want before you can produce originals. The old masters used to copy massively. They would do trips of just copying, and after a lot of copy, you do your own work. Like, copy is not an end; it's the means. But yeah, it's not art. It's copying. But who cares, right? What you want is really to just get in the shoes of the artist and try to get the feeling of how they decided to go for certain things, how they decided to go for this type of shapes and stuff, and train your eyes. Because when you do a copy, a genius artist, before you had already done most of the work, it's very hard, but the art has been done by the original artist. You're just trying to take this how do you say, I'm looking for my word, this treasure trove of information, of artistic work, of artistic talent. Like the old master before you worked a lot to achieve this level, and the only thing you have to do is pick up what they left you and just use it to try to get better. It's not art, it's training, it's practice, it's fun. It's also fun. So yeah. But yeah, I agree, it's not art. Just like when you paint, you know, when you practice oil painting and you start with a practice, you know, sphere. You paint, you know, your the basic oil painting sphere like that. So sure, it's not great. What can I say? But and it's not art, but it's still a useful exercise to do. Like playing scales on an instrument. It's not music, it's scales. You wouldn't go to a musician and say, wow, you played these scales so well. No. Scales are scales. They're just there to practice. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get a harder piece of charcoal now. I'm gonna try to go in more going to try to pull on the edges of my shadow shapes here. Still very rough, but I'm gonna try to get something out of these. Try to redefine them. Okay. Here, reshaping this jaw. So the chin is a bit thinner, I would say. I'm gonna go for that. I can correct it later on. Yeah, it's actually a pencil holder. You put like tiny bits of pencils here. I use that for my charcoal, but I kind of have to force the charcoals in. You also have these as charcoal holders. Or I used to have this, a square one. It's like science, yeah, kind of. Hey man, don't worry, size doesn't count. So you're alright, you're doing fine. Actually, size does count, so I'm taking it back. You need some bigger pencil holder. The square one I think are originally made for the Carré by Conte. You know, the Carré, the square pencil, the square chalks, pastels and stuff like that. Okay, so now here, of course, this should be this little thin line of light here. Very triangular shadow shape here. And here, I'm just going to trace it, even though this line here has no justification for existing, but I'm going to trace it as sort of a little reminder of where the neck position is. I'll remove it later, which is great to work with charcoal because it's so uniquely light that you can do temporary traces and just oh yeah, the size is one of the requisites for $1 million painting. So who there, because when was it? Friday? You had 2 days to make $1 million painting, have you? Or are you going to disappoint me? Like, who here is a millionaire already? Because like, we've all watched a video on how to make the $1 million painting. So you have no excuse. You had 2 days. So are you all like driving your Lambos and stuff? Did you invest your money in? Oh, let me know. Let me know. What is this one? Switch to Alkyd. Switch to Alkyd to make it dry faster. Nolan, did you not watch the stream, the beginning of the stream on Friday? Maybe you arrived later. We just watched this a silly video called "How to Make $1 Million Painting" or something like that, like a Vice video or maybe a Vox video. I don't know. And basically, we learned some interesting stuff about the world of art and how to make a lot of money selling art, making art. And apparently we are all pretty far from reaching the $1 million mark, but we're getting there. Oh, so you will never be a millionaire then. Sorry to say. Sorry to say that. But don't worry, we'll say hi from our helicopters and stuff. Oh yeah, the mouse stick. Very, very valuable tool when you have something so messy and light. Oh yeah. It's it was in my previous stream on Friday, so okay, now I need to reshape this side of the forehead by sort of wrapping the shadows from the background around this edge here. I'm gonna try to sort of make it almost disappear in the background. This little tool here, it's very practical, a little shaper, silicone shaper, very practical to do what you could normally do with your finger, but here not using your finger is sometimes advantageous. There's nothing really wrong about using your finger, although I don't recommend it because it's not as clean and as you can, and it can mess up with the paper, like if your hands are not clean. So normally it's not recommended. Hey, sometimes what you want is not to use your hands for, you know, the entirety of the drawing. Like, you don't want to be always like smearing the charcoal with your hands, because this is where you have like very disgusting values. I have no friends that need to launder money, so I guess I'll never get a commission. Too bad. Too bad. Well, you don't have the right friends. It's not my fault, Damien. Hey, that's nice. You know, there was actually, I think there was a scandal, but I don't think it's unconfirmed, so don't quote me. Like, there was this guy that we saw, actually, Damien Hirst, had this auction, and of course it's private, and apparently none of the paintings actually sold for the amount that they wanted. So what they had to do with the gallery and the kind of the representatives of this guy they had to buy the work themselves. So basically the artists ended up buying again his own paintings because he didn't want the market value to go down. So rather than saying, okay, we couldn't sell the paintings for the amount that we wanted and we had to lower our prices, basically what they did was they bought the painting themselves with their, companies, shareholders, stuff like that, like hedge funds or whatever. But basically this was the sellers were buying their own stuff through a different means, just so that the value of the artist and the reputation and all would not go down. Otherwise he would have been devalued for lack of sales. Unconfirmed, but I've read about it. So I have no sources though at the moment, but no sources, so don't quote me. And it's all allegedly, but I've heard about that. Now, it wouldn't surprise me to learn that like tactics like that work. Because you never know who's buying. How convenient. It's funny how they let them buy expensive stuff like that. If you had to reveal the buyers, the amounts, and just disclose all this whole system would just fall down all of a sudden. Like transparency would be the ruin of this type of art world. Okay, so where are we now, kid? Taking shape? Okay, how is this left jaw that you found so distressing before? Tell me what you think now. Oh yeah, and now actually it made me think. I actually saw there was actually, let's have a little break, and I want to show you this one by Damien Hirst actually. Right now he's selling flowers. He's selling flowers now, like that's his new thing. And he's making very mundane flowers, but big flowers. So look at this. And he could have participated in the flower challenge, but unfortunately this guy didn't know, and he's not even in the Discord, so so he's making these gigantic flowers, or he's making people make these gigantic flowers, because he's not touching any of this. Oh, so he was inspired by Bruegel the Younger, apparently. So he's making like very basic flower paintings, just giant. That's the recipe. And making tons of, derivatives. Tons of derivatives that you can sell individually. So series, working in series, that's the big idea. But unfortunately, this guy is not even in the Discord, so couldn't even join the challenge. Too bad for him. Too bad for him. Oh yeah, no, it would not have won the flower challenge probably would have outsourced it, would have recruited you to paint flowers for him and then sold it for an exuberant amount. So if I were to open my museum, how would I call it? Huh. I've never been very big on flowers, so it's not my thing, but my wife just loves flowers. I like flowers, but I'm very picky about the colors, so whenever you make a bunch of flowers, I really I'm really specific about what flowers go together. And sometimes in a garden, when you have like flowers from all types, I don't like when flowers don't match with the green of the leaves and stuff in a garden. Like even in a garden, I like when flowers just work in harmony. But that's just me. In gardens, I'm more interested in flowers that actually do stuff and produce fruits rather than decorative flowers. So I'm interested in tomato flowers because I know that I'm gonna have tomatoes. That's kind of the point. Point of flower. I find still life with fruits more interested than still life with flowers, for example. What do you think? Controversial take or not? Who's with me in fruits versus flowers? Who's with me in the fruits team? If I have to choose, I'll go with the fruits. Raise your hands in the chat, like fruits team, where are you? Neither. Okay, let's just food still life, yeah. As long as you can eat the fruit, yeah. Got to hurry up sometimes. I had a pomegranate that I used as a prop in one of my paintings, and I had to paint it. And it started to, because I opened it to have all the pomegranate, insides. But it started to perish pretty quickly, actually. It took me longer to make the painting than it took the pomegranate to deteriorate. But I don't think it's worth then, the old, the Dutch masters, they had like this, they had a full genre of fish and meat stalls that they painted actually. kind of crazy, they used to paint this like fish. You have some very impressive still lifes of, fish, stuff like that. But I figured, well, I don't know how quickly they painted it, but I hope that they were quick because the smell might have been awful. Oh yeah, dragon fruit is pretty. Yeah, I've never actually eaten some of it, so yeah, glad painting don't come with scent, but I can tell you that these paintings from the Dutch masters here, they're very well done, and the textures are very realistic, and it almost feels like you can smell the stuff, like, you know, this very real feeling, like exactly what we had on this painting actually of the bodega with the fried eggs, everything. It was so nicely done that you could almost feel it. Starting to look like a young Val Kilmer. Don't know how I should take that. But does it look like a model though? That's my question. Well, I need to work on this shape here, but it's so diluted into the background that it takes a lot of subtlety to make the distinction between what is the actual edge and what is the background. And you want this softness, but this softness can also lose you, make you lose track of the actual shape. Here feels like there is more here. There's more happening here under this mouth here, so it should go lower here. I should drop the chin a bit, a couple millimeters down, bring it down here just a little, like that, and just checking distances, comparing distances between okay, yeah. Now I need to reshape that. It's very subtle. Maybe the nose is short, something. This, let's check the negative space now. So here's actually more, slightly more triangular. Okay. And what's the... Is that the durian, like the fruit that smells horrible? What is it? Like, it looks crazy. Is that the dragon fruit? It has a terrible smell. What Asian fruit has like the worst smell? But apparently it's delicious. Okay, so we have this. Just going to bring this shadow here below the... So durian is this the thing? Is it true that it smells bad? Because I have a hard time believing that, like, how bad can a fruit smell? Like, if it's still like good to consume and not perished. Okay. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the white and we'll see what we can do. Metal bands I like. Let's see. Sorry, I'm focusing on my white here at the moment. Silent Planet stuff like Currents. What is it? As I Lay Dying, for example. Like Master Flames. Lorna Shore. Knocked Loose, sorry. Like, I don't know, like it's like I really have brain my brain doesn't just want to go back to music at the moment and remember the bands I like. But I can check it later on. It's just, I don't know, just talking about art and nonsense in general, but like right now. Yeah, I really like metalcore, deathcore also a bit. Yeah, Meninas I like Brands of Sacrifice as well. What else? You know, lots of bands. Black metal and death metal. Really? I have a hard time believing that you honestly like black metal and like another genre of metal or even accept other genres is just legit. Yes, Nolan, because I didn't quite get it, but you mean seeing the drawing and the reference next to each other? So the head here of the boy on the model seems to be a bit more squished here. I was a black metal musician for 14 years. A vocal studio tech. So you were holding the Fisher Price recorder and just taking care of getting inside of the cave. I'm sorry, I'm putting all the black metal cliche, but have you seen one of my favorite joke black metal music video is the Satans of Hell. This video always cracks me up. Like the Finnish guys, I mean, like just walking in the forest, it just always cracks me up. This is always how I picture black metal dudes. Man. The Satans of Hell, I think it's called. The Black Satans. So funny. What I like about this video is the comments is, oh, it's nice that these guys seems to have a nice time just walking in the woods, and they're like, whoa. They're just such cliches. I love them. That's black metal. Yeah, nah, it's more complicated than that. And in the case of the video I'm referring to, it's clearly like joking around this like all aesthetic. It's mostly a statement. Okay, how do we look? He mumbles French when there's a French comment. He tries to say it in English. It's very strange, very disturbing. But I do get something, like, you know. Okay, so I'm readjusting this chin here. Chin is always a very tricky edge to draw because it's so shape defining for the entire face. You don't want to mess it up, but again, you don't, in this case, you don't want to make it too sharp as well. So what I'm going to do is, for the time of placing it, I'm going to just sharpen it a bit more right here, putting this line, exaggerating it a bit, just for the time that I can get it, and then I'm going to soften it. Normally it's not necessarily what you want, so it's always easier to have something soft and sharpen it later than something sharp. Soften it, it's a different story. But in this case, the kind of the placement, the overall shape of the face, I kind of want to have it at the moment, just so that I can double check everything. Yeah, the chin is a tricky little beast. Because there's just such a perfect roundness that you need to catch exactly. And each person has a very specific kind of roundness to them. Each person is special in its way. Hard to get it. Yeah, most metalheads are actually very cool people. That's very true. It's mostly a statement, like the whole devil thing, and it was mostly back then. Right now it's not shocking anymore, so it's mostly kind of a legacy for most bands that still have this aesthetic. It's mostly a cultural thing, but you would actually be surprised how many very renowned Christian metal bands actually exist. Like, a lot of people don't know that it's a thing, but it is. And compared to Christian rap, for example, Christian metal is actually very legit. Like, you have some legit bands that are not necessarily Christian, like in the lyrics and all. They just technically are Christian, and they have like they don't sing about Satan. They most of the time sing about like struggle, self-improvement, stuff like that. But they are legit, like in the scenes. Like, you have some actual bands that are so they are the complete opposite of Satanists, and they are legit. Really? Yeah, well, yeah, I think maybe in the US, I don't know. I don't know. In Europe, it seems like it's been mostly like very different niches. Some metal bands like go for some history themes. Some go for more like, you know, kind of Viking themes. Some go for like even pirate stuff like that, Nintendo core, geek stuff. It's like very diverse. So where are my jaw inspectors? What do you think about the jaw? What should I do now? I think the angle here, maybe I could reshape this ever so slightly. I'm just going to soften it now. All right, see you, Belson. Okay. Kind of made him a Chad jaw. Let's see. Can be. Can be. Just, it takes so little to change a jawline. Sometimes it's just about little adjustments. And yeah, as you noted, it can also be about the angle of the camera, indeed. I need to catch this shadow shape under the ear, and I'm going to Okay, let me just take you there, like straight. Okay, so now this is straight. Okay, yeah, just some stuff here to do with the ear. The ear is slightly bigger actually, so I should make the ear bigger. Repositioning the ear will tell me how to continue this line. And then I also need to reshape this on top of the here. This will also give me, if I catch this one here, this like triangular a little bit, correct the ear, correct this, and basically between the ear newly improved when I do it and this shape, I'm gonna have kind of I'm kind of going to have a little kind of a course of action. It will give me my course of action for the rest. No, he shouldn't be, but thank you. Okay, so let's see this ear. And what I should do as well is reshape this here, this little brow. Hey, we are 3 hours in. Time flies, dude. Yeah, 3 hours in, man. Okay, so ear. Okay, so this line here, the brow line here, almost meets the top of the ear. Top of the ear should be here. Okay, here. This bottom here should be there. My jaw shading is too far forward. Making his cheek smaller. It's a possibility. just go ahead, fast forward. Who cares about the ear at this point? Ear is really the part of the drawing that you can let almost untouched, as long as you have the right size. Okay, so now I need to take this shape here, this little black shape. I'll try to use it as sort of a visual landmark. Hey Anna, that's cool. I like that. I like the idea, I like the spirit there of drawing along. And you can also put your results in Discord if you feel like it. Is it bad to use charcoal with smooth paper? No, it's not. It's just harder, because the charcoal will have a very hard time just sticking to the paper. It will just fly away and will be very dark, very hard to go dark even. So let's see this triangle shape here. Here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is generally the reason why people choose some kind of rougher grain, this type of stuff. Soft, soft, soft. This is so soft. It's very hard to catch. I'm not even sure what the photo reproduction really catches from where the background starts and where the face ends. Not really sure how accurate the image that I have here. Because it's so dark. It's been painted with very dark shadow color. So you don't really see where yeah, I talked about this little highlight here, yeah. Kind of a structural in a way. Mm-hmm. It's a fun little guy to draw though. Yeah, well, you never know with these photo reproductions of paintings. It's really hit or miss. And if you thought, I guess they never miss, huh? Well, you're my type of people. You know your memes. If you don't know what I'm saying, no problem, no issues. I also like you. Well, pretty much all of this entire painting is very dark brown, so yeah, I see. Sometimes they also kind of correct the photos, they correct the yellow a bit, the color accuracy. Most of the times the official reproductions, they have good color accuracy, but you know, online you get a little bit of everything. So yeah. nothing beats getting there and seeing the painting in person. Although some paintings are in places where they are very poorly lit, sometimes it's really a shame, because some very, very beautiful paintings really don't have the type of light they deserve. Some museums, they don't know how to display a painting with the proper light. So you get lots of glare, especially when they stack the paintings on top of each other, like above each other, I mean. And like you have to look up, and there's usually a spotlight or a skylight, something like that, making very hard to see anything because you have this super annoying glare. Yeah, the varnish is glossy, the paint itself is glossy. And if you use matte varnish, man, you're not getting the same type of vibrant colors. You can try satin varnish. It reduces a bit, but you still get tons of glare with satin. Well, Cody, bon appétit. What time is it? Oh. I'm on my way to finish this one. Well, glare is a side effect. Like, a painting can be glossy and have no glare. If you have controlled lights and you know how to show the painting, like, it doesn't matter that it's glossy. Doesn't need to be just because it's glossy doesn't mean you'll have glare. So technically I don't recommend going full matte varnish just to avoid glare, because first of all you don't avoid 100% of it. It's just less beautiful. It's like the picture is less good. Yeah, it makes the colors stronger. Not just the black, but yeah, definitely the black. Definitely. Well, you're not missing much. You can type in chat to Cody that he's not missing much. Tell him I said that. No need to listen to my nonsense. Okay. Well, it's not perfect, but I'm almost 3.5 hours in. So I'm probably going to have to leave it at that. I'll continue because I'm recording this for a tutorial, but I'll do the finishing, retouch the details here and there, but I'm gonna keep it like that for tonight because I think I've reached maximum ability. I don't think I can do much more. Yeah, I'll do the final details. Yeah, final details when I have time. Right now, I can leave it like that. And as I say that, of course, I find some new stuff to do. It's always like that. Always think, okay, it's time to put the brush down. And then, bam, you find something new to do. Almost immediately. It's like a curse. Like, look at that. Yeah, okay. Good. My friends, thank you for tuning in so far. I hope you had a wonderful time. Hope you had a wonderful Sunday. Sunday is not finished for you. I guess it's done for me. It's already Monday for me, so happy Monday. Have a nice week. I'll see you on Tuesday for our stream. And yeah, take care. And yeah, have a nice one. And thank you for tuning in. Bye.